She slept with my fiancé, then wore white to my wedding, but I had one final surprise hidden in my. The moment I saw her step into the church, my chest tightened. She wasn't just any guest, she was her. The woman who had slept with my fiancé. And she wasn't just here to watch me marry him, she was wearing white. A deliberate, venomous insult. Whispers rippled through the pews as she walked down the aisle like she owned it, her heels clicking against the stone floor, her smirk aimed directly at me. My bridesmaids shifted uncomfortably, my mother gasped, and my father clenched his jaw. But me, I didn't flinch, not even a flicker of anger crossed my face. Because unlike everyone else in the room, I knew something they didn't. I had one final surprise hidden in my heart and in my carefully rehearsed plan. You see, betrayal has a way of sharpening your instincts. Just a month before the wedding, I had discovered the truth. My fiancé, Ethan, hadn't been working late like he claimed. He had been sneaking off to hotel rooms with her, Vanessa, my supposed friend. The texts, the photos, the late-night calls, all of it had landed in my lap by accident when his phone lit up on my counter. I could have ended it right there. I could have screamed, cried, thrown the ring at him and walked away. But instead, I smiled. Because something inside me snapped awake. Why let him leave me broken, when I could write the ending myself? So I went along with the wedding plans. I played the role of the happy bride-to-be, listened to everyone's compliments, and let Ethan believe he was fooling me. Meanwhile, I was quietly setting the stage for my own performance, one he and Vanessa would never forget. The ceremony began as planned. I walked down the aisle in my gown, every eye on me, the music swelling like in a dream. Ethan stood there looking nervous, but handsome, like the perfect groom. I met his gaze, and for a moment, I almost pitied him. Almost. The priest began, asking the traditional vows. My voice was steady, calm, when I said, I do. Then it was Ethan's turn. He smiled faintly, said the words with a confidence that disgusted me, as though he hadn't destroyed my trust. The crowd clapped softly, relieved. They thought the drama had ended. But for me, the show was just beginning. When the priest invited me to say my vows, I pulled a folded sheet of paper from the bouquet I was holding. The room went still. Ethan frowned, confused. Vanessa leaned forward, sensing something. I began reading, but instead of words of love, I told a story. My voice didn't tremble, it grew stronger with each sentence. I once believed love was built on honesty, I said, but honesty shattered the moment I found the late-night texts. The hotel receipts. The betrayal. Gasps echoed through the church. Ethan's face drained of color. Vanessa's smirk slipped away, replaced by panic. Yes, I continued, locking eyes with her, betrayal by someone who sits among us today, wearing white at another woman's wedding. Because she wasn't content with destroying my trust in private. She wanted to flaunt it. So let's give her the attention she craves. I gestured toward Vanessa. Dozens of heads turned, eyes narrowing at her, mouths gaping. She tried to stand, but it was too late. The whispers grew like a tidal wave, guests murmuring, judging, condemning. My father's fists clenched. My mother's tears fell silently. Ethan stammered, "It's not what it looks like," but his voice cracked. He was cornered, exposed. And then, the final act of my surprise. I handed my bouquet to my maid of honor, reached into the folds of my dress, and pulled out an envelope. "This," I said, "is proof. Proof of every lie, every secret, every betrayal." I tossed it onto the altar. Photos, spilled out, of Ethan and Vanessa together, undeniable. The church erupted. Some gasped, some shouted. Vanessa fled down the aisle, humiliated, her white dress trailing behind her like the flag of her own defeat. Ethan tried to chase after her, but I stopped him with one last line, my voice steady and proud. "This isn't the beginning of our marriage, Ethan. This is the end of your lies. And the start of my freedom." I turned, lifted my veil, and walked back down the aisle. Alone. No tears, no hesitation. The guests parted for me, some clapping, some whispering words of support. I felt taller, stronger with every step. I wasn't leaving broken, I was leaving reborn. That night, instead of a wedding reception, I hosted a celebration, not of a marriage but of liberation. My closest friends and family toasted to my courage, my refusal to let betrayal define me. And when I looked in the mirror before bed, I saw a woman who had taken back her power. The lesson: sometimes the happiest ending is not the wedding itself, but the strength to walk away from the wrong person, and the courage to choose yourself.